There's James's dinner, and that little glass is empty because he's going to put that in it. So that's what's left over from the dandelions. I've never had such a good juicer before. That's my dinner and that, and I don't know if I can handle the dandelion, but we'll see. I'm going to review this. So this is Companion, and find someone made just for you, and you can see what it's about already. Abigail. Children can be such monsters. And I'm gonna start with reviewing this thing that I got. You can see the price tag, $25, but I got that half price on a half price sale at MCC. And I'm so glad. At first I was using it for carrots, and the carrots went okay, but they weren't juicing really thoroughly. And I just have to learn which filter inner thing, and how to work with it. Because today, doing the dandelions, perfection. I have never had a juicer that's gotten so much juice out of dandelions before. I'm going to go get the bag to show you just how much. So James is going to talk probably about politics while I go do that. So you can talk, James, and I may as well bring this back in because I've already showed you what it looks like. So this is the Moulimax Infinity Press Revolution, and wow, what a good juicer. So go ahead and help me right.
I believe it's May the 1st, 2025. Canadian election happened last night. Votes are still being tallied. It's just like it's going to be in the Liberal minority government. Unless the Conservatives can do enough cheating, as is their want to. Not as bad here in Canada as the Conservatives in the United States. The Republicans have been absolutely awful, especially since 2000. Stolen so many elections.
So, this is not garden salad in here. It's more dandelions. And so I washed a whole bunch of dandelions. There's a little bit of washed grass in there too. But I've been taking that out while I get through the colander, and then put it in the thingy, to juice it. So when it goes through, it's just dandelions. But anyway, this is how much I used, approximately, to make that much juice. Just to give you an idea, it was a heaping colander full. I have never had so much juice out of so little dandelions. That juicer is awesome. It's so awesome. So it doesn't really matter that James doesn't have very many dandelions in his yard this year, because he's going to have an amazing detox with what he has. So
well, we hit them early.
Yeah, you might have been thinking, oh well, I saw how much dandelions you had in the Rubbermaid tub in my video yesterday. Yeah, that was about it. But I added a few more today because I went to his house. I did a little more weeding, but mostly it was weeding grass today that I'd missed, because it's easy to miss some grass. And boy, anyway, and then I planted the garden and stuff. So anyway, it was about what, if you watched the video from yesterday, that's about how much I had, and then in half, right? And so I washed that up when I got back, and dandelions are a pain to wash. They require so much washing. But, I mean, you only do the dandelion detox once a year. And if you want to do it, now is about the latest you're going to be able to do it, because the dandelions are just going to get more bitter as the season progresses. As things heat up, the greens are going to get better. And they're already tough to handle when it's cooler. So, yeah, we're supposed to have plus 30 coming up on the weekend. So you don't want to be having dandelion detox after that. They'll be terrible. They're already starting to bloom anyway, and they get bitter when they start to bloom. So anyway, I'll let James talk again, and then I'm sure about the election, because he's been talking about that.
Yeah, looks as though, well, they're still tallying the numbers. Looks as though the Liberals are going to be 3 seats or so short of a majority. Too bad. I'm going to address a few words to Juggernaut Singh. Stepped down as party leader. Should have a lot of time to be listening to this. You stupid idiot. Who do you think you are, you stupid? So the last part of the campaign, you could see he was losing votes to the Liberals. And so he started attacking the Liberals. You don't do that, you stupid idiot. I suppose the guy who made that big mistake was Jack Layton way back when. Made something out of one of the most supreme non-edited Stephen Harper.
Oh, are you talking about how the CBC was campaigning for the NDP? I mean, it's ridiculous.
God, I tuned in about 8
Anyway.
to something, and all their coverage is about the NDP, and they were saying, oh, they're sitting at 11 seats. Now it's 7. What
I
are
mean,
you
honestly,
talking
listening
about?
to this CBC, there's so much like publicly paid advertising for certain individuals and not for others and whatever, because it's a publicly paid station, right? And I can understand. It's enough. It's tough for me to listen to it, and I'm a left-winger. And honestly, I think I'm about as left-wing as they come. I voted for Carney because I'm not an idiot. So, I mean, right now, you have to think about, okay, well, Canada's sovereignty itself is being threatened. Anyway, it's not an election worth playing around with, and here we are now. We're in this situation, and
yeah, well, the NDP can still support the Liberals, but that didn't work out for the NDP when they did that for the last 4 years, because the Liberals adopted pretty well across the board NDP policies, at least in word, but particularly when it comes to immigration. And that's caused a whole, or exacerbated, I should say, a whole host.
You're not going to have your dandelion detox?
Not right now. Okay. I've been drinking or eating a fair amount of salads with lemon in it, and it's actually burned my esophagus. So.
Okay. Well, I didn't put any lemon in your salad today. I put Catalina.
I know.
So, trying to sweeten it up for you.
Yeah, so.
Guess I'm gonna do the detox because somebody's got to do it.
So I just hardly eaten anything.
There you go.
Today, and
it's gonna be terrible.
esophagus has been burning, so I don't need to exacerbate it.
Gotta get my water ready. I should do it double-handed, right? But just to get it going quickly because this is so bad. Oh yeah, that's terrible. That's so terrible. Oh God, it's so terrible. Okay. Well, there we go. It's a good thing about wearing a skirt. You always have a napkin.
That's a horrible looking cover. That looks like an awesome or awful woman. Is it
Well,
intended?
I should
The
talk
eyes
about
to be that way?
Yeah.
We might as well.
So you look at this cover and you look at the little message here and you go, oh God, not another robot movie.
Oh, that's
Right? This one's actually good.
top
So,
of a stack. But
Yep, well, I enjoyed it thoroughly. This one was great. So I wish that they hadn't put the cover, all this, so that you know that she's going to be a robot. Because
I thought it was about a bad relationship or something.
that is what it's about.
Oh, okay.
It's about, well, it depends on how you look at it, right? It's definitely about a bad relationship. But if you look at it from the, what's the robot's name? I can't remember. Iris. If you look at it from Iris's point of view, which really the show, it's from her point of view. That's from the robot, right? For the most part. So if you look at it as she would look at it, you'd go, this is about a bad breakup, really. And if you look at it, you know, from her boyfriend's point of view, you see, well, it's about greed and selfishness, like total not, and idiocy, really, honestly. Like he has this crush on this other woman, really. Anyway, and it's bad. A lot of bad things happen in this, and it's very entertaining. So I don't know if you noticed how far that went down, but that's about as much as we could possibly drink for a dandelion detox. It's hard to chug-a-lug that down.
So sorry
we have
about
quite a
not
lot
drinking.
done.
One of the things, I just had a treatment earlier today.
Oh yeah.
One of the things that's happened for the next 24 hours with it is I already have a tendency.
As long as one of us gets it down, so that the people see, yes, that is going in the gullet. So
as I was saying, when I take it, I have a tendency for the next 24 hours towards indigestion. That's without any added burden.
okay.
So
Whatever.
It's just the way it goes. I've never mentioned that, I think, to Pauline. So she wouldn't know.
Okay. Well, I hope that doesn't stain my pretty dress. So
Abigail.
I would highly recommend Companion. It's very entertaining. There's some violent scenes, so be forewarned. There's violent scenes in this one too. And honestly, I enjoyed watching Abigail. I don't want to give it away what it's about, but you figure it out pretty quickly anyway.
I would. And you tend to do that with shows?
It's kind of different. I mean, you've seen lots of these lately. It's just, it seems every second movie.
Is that because
I'm
of
exaggerating.
AI and
Yeah.
stuff like that?
So, but that's great. And this topic, you've seen so many, thousands of movies on this topic, and
what is the topic?
Not telling you. You'll figure it out quickly when you watch it, or quickly enough. But and it's entertaining. So there's one thing I'll say about this, that put this one at the bottom of the stack and this one at the top of the stack. With this, everything was great, but there was one thing, the swimming pool thing, come on. They would know before they got to it, or, you know, whoever got to it. I'm not going to say. So that's a little ridiculous. But I don't know. What do you want? They're kind of horror movies, and they're very entertaining. So I would recommend both. Both were good. One got top, one got bottom, but both were good. So we still have 14 minutes, and I've been trying to take, I'm trying to be healthy lately, and I honestly am doing a good job of it. It didn't start out strong. I started out with the Slim Fast thing, and that was just a joke. Because honestly, I ended up, there was one day I had a Slim Fast shake with a bag of chips and a muffin bar. That was hilarious. So my Slim Fast meals were not working out well. But the thing is with me, is I have to be really active, and then I forget to eat. So this is my first meal of the day. I haven't eaten yet. I walked over to active like crazy.
Yeah.
So
when did you must have left here about 7 or something like that.
I don't know. I just thought it looks about right. You know, I knew the weather wasn't going to be like, it only was supposed to go down to 7 above or something last night. Really warm. So I knew I could get out pretty quickly when it was light and start working.
So the time now is what, 2:30 or something like that, 3?
Mm-hmm.
She was working, including the walking, continuously from about 7:30 to.
So I'm even taking vitamins and stuff.
That's a 8-hour day. But,
yeah, but after
you know,
I
it's
did
not
that,
like a city worker's 8-hour day.
Well, it's
5
like
hours.
mine.
Mm-hmm.
That's how I used to do them.
Yeah, I know. She used to work the coffee breaks. I used to take coffee breaks, but when I was doing janitorial, I'd get free overtime. I put in more than 8 hours. I take the breaks to read a little, to kind of give myself a reward. Doing stuff and broke the day up into pieces.
I should also tell you, I chilled the dandelion juice for a little while in the fridge while I was getting other things ready. I did that juicing first and then got the other stuff ready so that it would chill a bit, because honestly it's bad enough. Why make it worse? So I thought that'd help, but it was so bad. It was terrible tasting.
Now, is there more of that rice pea dish, or is that all of it?
That's all. I can make you more right now. Do you want some? I can go cook some.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll go cook some. You
It's
talk about whatever you want to talk about.
Very good. It's very tasty.
Okay.
I don't know if you put cheese in it or
Nope,
not.
didn't.
What?
Well, I can't eat the cheese, so.
There we go. Right. So I was mentioning Juggernaut Singh leaving his legacy. The NDP, you better get ready to, as they say in politics, get in bed with the Liberals. And you'd better be ready for them, the Liberals, to kind of be setting the agenda. And not you guys, not the way you were doing it for the last 4 years. You have lost, almost cratered, I wish you had, in terms of at least the number of seats. I don't know what your popular vote was, ridiculous. I think it must have gone up from 4.5%, but probably more like 8%, 8.5, 9%, 9%. Because they were giving those preliminary numbers before they even closed the polls in BC, and BC is a hotbed for NDP support, or it has been. But not so much this year. Juggernaut Singh lost in his very own riding, Burnaby, BC. So they were saying he lost his seat. And what occurred to me right away is, yeah, he lost his hindquarters. Yeah. And the same thing, with Pierre Petit Poilievre, in his writing. Where was that? Edmonton or something. And he lost his seat right away. I thought, yeah, he lost his hindquarters, but the trouble with him is all hindquarters. Someone on, I don't think it was CBC, one of the two unofficial conservative channels here that I can get here in southern Alberta. One's a Rogers feed, the other is a global feed, and they're the these CBCs kind of like liberal NDP, prefer the NDP, but what like it's with these private enterprise media giants, Rogers and Global. It's just they're constantly crowing about Pierre Poilievre, and it would be interesting to find out how they were crowing before Donald Trump started trumpeting. How they were crowing about Donald Trump. Absolutely shameful. Absolutely shameful. And Bloc Québécois looks as though they've got something like 22 seats in the bag. They're leading, might have one or two less, one or two more. I can't see the Liberals depending on them for support. I believe the Bloc Québécois supported Stephen Harper for a while when Harper was handicapped with a minority government. Bloc Québécois, I think, was supporting Harper because they're hoping that some of his backbiting ventures, would say something really stupid about Quebec or French people or whatever. And they were hoping that, or just Harper himself. Harper a little bit more sense. And that's not to say it had more sense. And, I don't know. Anyway, it's a lot better result than it could have been. They say that the Conservatives had a 25-point lead in the polls at the end of last year. Space of 4 months, that lead disappeared and went to it wasn't a dead heat. Apparently the votes were fairly close. I don't know what the Liberals got in terms of public support percentage. The Conservatives apparently around 40%. There can't be that. Are 40% of Canadians stupid and or vicious? Any of you folks that voted for him, like, look in a mirror, something like that. Try to get a mirror that's shock resistant so it doesn't crack when you look in it. Are you stupid or vicious or both? Whatever possessed you? This guy supported the truckers. Like someone once said, well, if Pierre Poilievre tries to win a by-election somewhere, we can always get the move for free with the help of some of his trucker friends. And the guy was he was phoning up, was it Rob Dirty Snow? Dirty Snow is like on corners and by fire hydrants. That's what he is. But that has got to be what his nickname or middle name is, Dirty Snow. Or maybe we just call him Yellow Snow. Rob. Anyway, the guy was purporting at least to be conservative supportive. I think he was just pretending and wanted to get a little extra time off of Rob Snow. Rob otherwise might have cut him off. Although Rob Snow isn't as stupid as many people who support the Conservatives. Some poor, misinformed woman phoned in. She was saying, this election was decided at the beginning of last election, or with the last election, the previous one, 4 years ago. She said what happened was Trudeau let in so many people that from elsewhere they were going to vote Liberal, so thanks vote. And he said, well, it takes a little while to become a Canadian citizen. That having been said, there are a lot of benighted individuals in the NDP and the Liberals, and also in the Conservatives, who think that by letting folks in from hither, thither, and yon, that those folks are going to vote whatever party lets them in. The Liberals had kind of set the record, starting, I guess, with Pierre Trudeau. He believed in multiculturalism. I used to believe in it, and then I saw the fruits of it, and it really is posse culturalism, as I've said before, and I'll say many times again, get used to it. And posse culture, so a few cultures, and it really comes down to group rights, and group rights are inimical, and they're not just neutral when it comes to democracy, they're inimical to democracy. Democracy about the rights of the individual. So what I've decided recently is I've always basically been, and I definitely am now, a maxiculturalist. In other words, what does that mean? Every person is an individual culture. If they start ganging up with other people to form a part of a posse culture in order to suppress other people's individual rights, that's where I draw the line, and frankly, that's where we should pull the plug. So, like, am I being hypocritical? I'm basically Irish. And you know what? I'm not the kind of person who's just out there gung-ho. Let in more Irish people. Let's get more Irish people over here. We don't have enough Irish people over here. Some of the worst skunks I've seen over here in the New World, not just here in Canada, have been Irish people. I'm not prejudiced against them. If some sort of Irish person churns up and has some sort of values, believes in democracy, okay, more power to them. But they're, like, just letting them in willy-nilly is really, really stupid. It applies to any culture group, any ethnic group, any sort of thing. If representatives of a particular group don't believe in democracy, they don't belong in a democracy. So Patrick Buchanan, what a shame to the Irish race. How much time? 5?
No, like a minute.
A minute. There we go. Patrick Buchanan, Brian Mulroney, that lying chimp, Ronald Reagan. He was a lying chimp too. I'll talk more about that. I didn't cover everything I should have, but they never had him say, Dennis Quaid go, well, because that's the signal when Ronald Reagan was going to start lying. Well, yeah. Or you just knew he was going to lie. It was another big one. Yeah, that rice dish, it's just rice and peas, and you had some mushrooms in yesterday, but it still was tasty.